Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm so glad that you found me. um, this channel actually has been a long time coming for me. I've been setting it up for a while now, working on various things and doing some research. And I'm not a techie, so it's taken me forever to do something that a lot of you could have probably done in like 10 minutes. But anyway, thanks, like I said, for joining me. Um, I'm really I'm hoping that this channel will enlighten a lot of people about the mental health unawareness, mental health struggles, as you know, or someone you're close to probably knows. They're paramount in our world today, and the thing of it is, it's not just something that's happened in our lifetime. It's been forever. People have suffered with this for as long as there's been people, actually. We're just now becoming more aware of the different types of mental illness that there are out there. I can't even list them all, there's so many. But on this channel, I'm hoping that we can help people that are in our lives, our families, our spouses, our children, our grandchildren. I really want to help make them more aware of why people, yourselves or and myself or whoever is watching, why we do the things that we do, and give people a little bit of insight into into why we do them, and why we make bad decisions sometimes. And for myself personally, I know I've not done anything or made a decision out of malice. For myself, I've struggled with this from childhood until up to today. So all of my life, really, I watched some family members struggle with it as well. And I really do believe, and I know that the things that we're going through in our lives do stem a lot of times from childhood trauma. And there's a lot of people out there that are going to roll their eyes and they're going to say, oh, suck it up, Muffin, go see someone, take a pill. Well, okay, I suppose that's one way of looking at it, but it's not very practical, nor does it work for everyone. There is no one size fits all pill for mental illness, right? You and I know that. And it's hard for people that we love and people that love us to understand why we disappoint them, why we don't show up for parties sometimes, or why we miss appointments or special occasions. It's not because we want to. Well, unless it's a real family member that is like a miskibut or something, that's different. Somebody that you just can't deal with. But for the people that we love, we're not doing it. It's not a personal thing. It's a tough, tough journey for us. We let a lot of people down, but most of all, I feel like we let ourselves down the most, right? Because we really, really suffer when we have to make those decisions not to be present at, school functions for our children, or fun days at the park. We do miss sometimes, some of us do miss a lot of really important things. And my own struggles, I've struggled with agoraphobia. Struggled with that for about 7 years of my life. I could not leave the house. It was the most traumatic thing in the world for me to answer the door if someone knocked on the door. I froze. I just absolutely, I couldn't deal with the outside world. I lived in the house with my children, my husband, and that was my whole world. My whole world was four walls, basically. That was really hard. And that's hard on everyone. That's hard on the whole family. And I've struggled with emetophobia, which is something that I still have, and probably will have for a lifetime, and that's a fear of being ill, a fear of vomiting, because I do tend to faint when I get sick. So I've learned to kind of cope with that, but that's a paralyzing fear also. And that stopped me forever, for so long, from being able to go out and enjoy life, is because I would think, oh my God, what happens if I get sick? What happens, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to be so embarrassed, and I'm going to embarrass my family, or just irrational thoughts, but not really. I don't know if it's really a phobia. It's only a phobia. I mean, it's not a phobia if the fear is real, or if the threat is real, right? So that's a tough one. That's it, because I faint. I pass right out, just boom. There's so many different types. I have anxiety, which luckily I have a lot of these things under control now, but it took a long time. Anxiety, that's a really big one. That's a really, really big one, because it's got so many components to it. The way we can maybe help our people understand is have them think about the absolute worst thing that's happened to them in their life. The one thing that's caused them like paralyzing fear. I don't care if it was as a child, as a teenager, as an adult. Whether it was physical abuse, whether it was a horrifying movie, just try to harness that feeling. Or being on a Ferris wheel, if you're excruciatingly afraid of heights. You know how you go on a Ferris wheel and then the operator will stop it at the top for a bit? Well, if you're afraid of heights, think about the fear and the anxiety that you feel while you're up there. Oh my God. You want to faint, but you can't. You want to die, but you can't, but you feel like you're going to. That's anxiety. And that's something that sometimes we don't know it's coming. We could be shopping in a mall, and all of a sudden it'll hit us and we will become paralyzed. It's like that moment, that Ferris wheel moment. And there's no rhyme or reason for it, maybe. But we live with that. We have to learn to function with that feeling. We have to learn to live a normal life with those feelings. We have to work. We have to raise children. We have to take care of family. We don't get a day off. We really don't. It's an uphill battle for some of us, and I know that along with mental health or mental health unwellness, we also struggle a lot of times with shame, because we don't want people to find out that we have these issues. Guilt for, like I said, disappointing people, disappointing ourselves. People sometimes look at us like we're, losers, or we're lazy because we stay in bed for 4 days and we don't get up, really, except to go to the bathroom. It's not a choice. It's really not a choice. It's the way some of us are wired, and we find ways to cope, but sometimes you just can't, I've always actually been a very caring person. I think I love people, and I've always been drawn toward the health industry and toward people that need help. Like it doesn't matter who it is. It just doesn't matter, because I see something in every single person, whether it's the man that's passed out at the bus stop drunk, or the young guy that's, I don't know, got beat up by his friend and he's in the parking lot, crying, or anything, any situation where I see someone is not doing okay, I'm going to intervene. And I mean, it's probably not the smartest thing sometime, but that doesn't matter to me. I think, oh my God, if that was me, or if that was my child, or if that was someone I loved in that situation, I think we take things a lot more personally, and we feel things a lot more deeply, some of us. And we empathize so much more because we know what it's like to be abandoned. We know what it's like to be disrespected. We know what it's like to be abused. We know what it's like to be used by people. We know what it's like to be made fun of. We know those things. So I certainly, myself, I can't see anyone suffer and not do something about it. And the things that have happened in my life from my childhood on, and it's been quite a journey. It's been a real journey for me. Those are the things, though, that make us who we are, right? Those are the things that have helped to shape me into the caring person that I am. And I'm thankful for who I am inside. And I'm also really happy and thankful that I have people in my life right now and at this point, thank heavens for all of them, and they know who they are, and they're amazing. They're kind, they're caring, they've taken time, and they still take time to understand why I do the things I do, why I make the decisions that I make, and why I've made the decisions that I've made. Why I haven't succeeded at some things, and why I've been really good at other things. So they take the time to do that, but not everybody's got time to do that. Not everybody wants to. So maybe on this channel, we can help the people around us understand a little bit better who we are and what we're dealing with. There's so many different types of mental illness. It's just the depression, anxiety, like I said, agoraphobia, emetophobia. There's a billion phobias. There's people have fears of colors, for example. That's a big one. I couldn't understand why for years and years and years, all through my growing up years, I could not handle a certain type of green. Whenever I saw that shade of green, it was kind of a booger green, I would feel ill, and I couldn't understand why that was. And I really avoided places that resembled that color or had that color in them, right? But I couldn't explain it. And so people just thought, oh, what a weirdo, But no, there was a reason for it. I just didn't know what it was until I got older and I was able to try and dig deep into my own brain and figure out, okay, that's why. It's because I'd had a bad experience in a building that was painted that color. Yeah, it was actually a church building. So, little things like colors. Why, and some children can't eat foods that are a certain color. And you think, well, what the heck? Why can't you eat a flippin' tomato, for God's sake? What's wrong with you? It's not going to kill you. Well, wait a minute, though. There's a reason. Maybe this child put a red Lego in their mouth and choked on it at one time. You don't know. See, these things stay in our heads, right? And as we grow up, hopefully and slowly, we start to understand why we feel the way we do about certain things. Of course, our parents, the generation that raised us, they were really raising kids in a really interesting time, as we are now, right? And their way of teaching us things. I know my growing up years were based on, my mom used fear. Well, if you go outside and you don't wear that hat, you're going to get sick. If you don't drink this, or if you don't eat your dinner, if you don't eat this vegetable, your bones aren't going to grow, and well, that's it. And if you don't go to sleep, the boogeyman will get you. Things like that we know now are just so ass backwards. But that's what they had to work with. So we can't fault them. I mean, it depends how bad the trauma was. But we can't fault them for trying their best, right? All we can do, and I know what I've tried to do, is not do those things and completely do the opposite, right? We didn't have an emotionally loving close-knit family when I was growing up. And I was always fighting to be the center of attention or get any attention, really, as a child. I have an older brother, and then my mom had another child. And the other child was the focus of her life. And so I kind of didn't, I was the middle, right? I didn't really fit in anywhere. I didn't really have a special spot. So all, and I think about my teen years and the things that I went through and put myself through and people put me through, and I allowed it, was because I just wanted to be recognized. And some people struggle all their lives to just be loved by someone, right? So, I mean, there's so many things that we have to deal with. The world right now is not the most pleasant place. And we're not only dealing with mental illness issues, we're dealing with having to survive, we're dealing with food banks, food bank requests overflowing. We're dealing with people that are living on the streets, families, working families that just can't make it. Senior citizens that are being just thrown out of their living quarters because they just can't afford to live even on a pension. And they've worked their entire lives to get this pension. And so we're not just dealing with ourselves and with what's in our heads. We're dealing with what's going on in the world, which doesn't help us, does it? No. But we've got to know to an extent what's going on. You know what? I watch the news very rarely. I have a really, really wonderful person that I contact and I ask, what's going on? What's going on in the world? Because then I can get a short recap, right? And I don't have to actually look at it myself. So thank you for that. You know who you are. But you know what's really important, and what I really want to stress in this video, is that you need to find a support system. And it's not easy to do. And sometimes the support system isn't your family, your immediate living in your house family. Sometimes your systems can come from, you can find an amazing friend, and that person turns out to be the best support system you've ever had. And they know someone that could possibly help you out with one of your situations. Or, reach out. And it's hard to reach out, especially when you're in a full-blown clusterfuck of a mental health situation. It's really, really hard. You just want to sit and you want to cry. You want to feel sorry for yourself. And, and that's okay, because it's okay to feel sorry for yourself. But you need to have someone to reach out to. And if it's not family, like I said, a friend, a counselor, sometimes a total stranger, like a counselor that you've never met, do it over Zoom. Do it on the internet. You don't even have to go to an office. That's the beauty of technology. But really, really, you know what? I want you to look in the mirror. And this is stupid. And I know you're going to roll your eyes again. You're going to go, oh, crap, here she is again. Really look at yourself and find the things about yourself that make you special or make you unique. Maybe you have really nice hair. Maybe you have amazing eyes. Maybe you have an amazing smile. Just look at yourself. You're going to find things that only you have that are amazing and that other people see in you that you don't see in you. Nobody's perfect. And we'll struggle and we'll try to be normal. We'll try to keep a steady job. We'll try to, make a savings account and try to secure our futures. And we'll do all those things, and we're going to get knocked on our ass because everybody does. The person that has the big fancy house that, travels 4 times a year, that has the skidoo, has the boat, has the, the travel trailers, the big swimming pool, all of it. Well, they're not different. Their circumstances are different. Not only that, you've got to remember that a lot of the people that are in that situation that you're trying to, or at times in your life try to aspire to, they don't own those items. The banks own the items. So, not always, but a lot of times they do. And we try, like, you try to keep up with people. You try to remain in that sort of even, I'm normal, I can work, I can do a family, I can, I can buy these things. But it's sort of like, to me sometimes, it's like, when you run or you bike, say you do a biking marathon, right? You got to go up this really big hill. So you're at the bottom of the hill and you're on the bike and everybody's just racing by you and you're looking, what the hell? And you're pedaling your ass off, like you're sweating. You're going to be sick because you've pedaled so freaking hard, but you're not moving because you're on a fucking stationary bike. Been there. Am there. Doesn't matter how hard you pedal, you're not going to make it. You're not going to be like them. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up your bike and you're going to struggle to make those 2 or 3 steps up the hill. But by that time, everybody else is already coming back down, ready to go up again. Well, shit. Now you feel like a loser. You feel like you're never going to get anywhere. You're not going to mount to anything. My God, you can't even do something as simple as ride a bike up a hill, but you're not working with the right equipment. You need the tools. You need the right bike. And you'll find it. But you've got to work with someone. You've got to, even if it's just these types of channels, whatever you need to do, you've got to do it. Because when it comes right down to it, you got you. And that's it. That's really it. And that's scary as hell to a lot of people. But that's the way it is. When it comes right down to it, you have to be able to take care of you. So what I would really like is I'd like comments. I'd like you to, send me a question if you have one, or write me, send me comments about your situation. And absolutely, if there's anything I can do, if there's someone that I know, I could send you information you could reach out to, or just, let's work on this. Let's do that. Let's help each other, because we need help. Everybody needs help. Even the richest person has issues. Probably almost every single person you walk by in a day has one thing in their life that has at some point affected them negatively, mental health wise, right? So remember that. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's everybody. And for the people that say, oh, just suck it up, get over it, take a pill, just smile. Just say, it's all good. Watch this channel. Maybe you'll learn something. Now, don't be cheeky, because we got to love them anyway, right? So thank you for watching this introduction video. And as I said, if you'd like to comment, I would definitely get back to you ASAP. And if you hit the subscribe button, then of course, as soon as I do my other video, you'll be notified. And if you'd like to donate to the channel so we can rev it up a bit, maybe, keep it going, that would be wonderful too. The information is all down below. So you know what? I'm going to end it here. And you guys have a fabulous evening. And we'll talk again soon. Okay? Take care of you. Bye.